was one of those games where it felt like you don't want to harp too much on a particular call, but boy, that fumble that they returned back inside the 30-40. You guys finish off that drive and score. It's 14-7. That feels like a different game against Roswell last week.
It is. It probably is a different game, but credit to Roswell for making the play when they have to, and we got to hold on the football. And whether it's a good call, a bad call, whatever it was, we didn't take care of it, and we had 3 turnovers in the first half, give up 4 fourth down conversions in the first half, 2 touchdowns on fourth down, and the score was 28-7 at halftime, and we physically got after them. We were very impressed with our physicality and embracing what we're trying to do, but we got to make plays, and we got to be able to – you get that drive down to the 10 that started on our own 30. I mean, that's a drive we got to punch in, and that's a 14-point swing that kind of changed the whole complexion of the game.
Yeah, I mean, and just some things. And I mean, mind you, I think both teams had some – I mean, to be fair, I think it kind of balanced out. You guys got the fumble, and then the one that tripped recovered in the end zone. That could have easily been called forward progress as well. So those things
I mean,
out,
it's all – it is what it is. And we teach our kids, don't complain about it. You won't hear us ever complain about it. It's move on and play. And it's about embracing challenges and tough things ahead of you in life, and that's what we're trying to show our kids. And so we haven't said a word about it. I mean, it's just, hey, we got to get better, and we got to get ready for Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. And offensively, I think you guys were doing some good things, especially when you guys could get outside the tackle. I mean, you guys were picking up big chunks of yards against that Roswell defense when you got to the outside with the running game.
Yeah, and that's one of the running the veer out of the bone is when we start running outside veer and even on the inside veer. But outside veer is hard to stop, and there's not many teams that'll run it here in New Mexico. And we think we're okay at it. We still got a long ways to go get really good at it, but you get us on the edge, we're okay. We got 2 tackles that I think could go up with anybody else in the state, and Darius Washington and John Audette. So we don't make any secrets about where we're going. We're going to find those 2 big bulls and go get it. And I thought Audette had a heck of a game. We statted him at, I think it was well over 10 pancakes in that game. I mean, very physical, and that's the kind of physicality we like.
And I would say defensively as well. I mean, you gave up the long plays at times, but there were a lot of tackles for losses in that game, and you guys were getting in the backfield and disrupting what Roswell was trying to do.
Oh, our 2 linebackers, Mayberry and Stovall, had a night, and it's fun to watch those 2 kids grow because they're only juniors, just about like everybody else on our defense. But we played well. It's just those big plays kill us, and those inopportune times. I mean, just 4th and 14, and they get into empty, and everybody in the place knows the quarterback's going to run for it, and our kid drops on a pass drop. And we talked about all week, and that's just one of those things that in that moment we didn't make the play, and Roswell did.
Yeah, and the long touchdown, the 40-yard touchdown pass, and I mean there were a couple others in there that just, it's difficult to. I mean, those are the kind of things that sap the energy out of you a little bit.
Yeah, and I thought our kids responded well. I mean, the physicality of what we're trying to do and what we're trying to bring, these kids are kind of having to learn it on the run, in game situations, and you look at the physicality of us growing from where we were in week 1 to week 9 last week is very impressive in what we're trying to do and establish, and our kids are embracing it, the toughness aspect of it. And you see it once we establish that on offense, it ties over to defense, and we start playing better defense doing that as well.
And I will say, heading into this week, it's kind of good you get Roswell, then Artesia, because Roswell and the way that they're quick pace, I mean, you really hadn't seen an offense that's snapping the ball with 20 seconds to go on the play clock. Artesia is going to give you similar things so the defense kind of can be prepared.
Yeah, and Coach Lynn does a good job, and Coach Maupin does, and they're going to tempo teams that are going to try to slow it down. And so we have to naturally slow it down as much as we possibly can because, I mean, we're allowed to take, I think, 30-some kids is all we're allowed to take over there. So we can't go fast. We can't get in a shootout. We can't race them up and down the field. We don't have the depth. They're going to have 70 kids dressed out, and we're going to have 35. So we are definitely going to slow down and seeing that tempo. And I thought our coaches did a good job all week of simulating it with 2 huddles and 2 scout books and scout cards going. As soon as one was over, another one was thrown up there, and our kids didn't have a chance to think. They just had to keep repping and keep repping. So we did that again this week, and that's all we've done all week.
And also a team that runs the spread, which, I mean, it's been kind of a mix there of teams that run the spread offense. This is, Artesia's obviously runs it really, really well. Is that a different challenge for you guys defensively this week?
It is. I mean, Artesia's very good at what they do, and everybody in the state knows what they're going to do. The difference is, can you stop them?
Yeah.
And then they're so well taught and well ingrained in their system of how to run routes, the timing of it, all those things. So we haven't seen a true spread team like that probably since Lovington. Of lining up because Lovington really didn't try to run the ball at all. The difference is Artesia will try to run the ball, and the Barrera kid they got as running back's a stud. He's for real. He's good, and Coach Maupin does a very good job of trying to find a balance between the 2.
And, for you guys offensively, I mean, you talked about the physicality, and, that's something you think back to 2 years ago when you guys went over there and won a football game. You guys were able to physically control the game and control the clock a little bit. And obviously you guys feel like, if you guys play well, you can do that on Friday.
Yeah, and I thought we could have done that last Friday against Roswell as well. In that game 2 years ago, we didn't turn the ball over. We didn't give up big plays. And we sustained drives, put points on the board, and we do those things against Roswell. That's a different game, and our coaches talked about it. You change five or six plays that game, and it's probably a different game, and it's not a 30-point beatdown or whatever it was, because that's how competitive we are and how much we've grown over this time. And we got to do the same thing in strategic. If we turn the ball over, it's going to get ugly. If we don't put points on the board, sustain drives, and let their offense just race us up and down the field, it's going to be a long night. So we definitely got to get better at that and make sure we take care of it and physicality part of it. And they're going to be well prepared for it because they played Goddard last week.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, they're coming off a high as well, getting the win, and they're obviously, after beating Goddard, they're rooting for Goddard this week to have a chance.
They're competing for a district championship, and we're competing to finish second in the district.
Yeah. If you get 1 and 2, there's a possibility of that.
Yeah, if we beat Artesia and Roswell High wins, we will be second in district. If Goddard wins, we have to win by a certain number of points over Goddard and all that stuff. It goes in the numbers game.
Yeah, if everybody finishes 1 and 2, then it makes things a little more interesting. But you guys also have to feel like, again, it's a similar situation. If you guys can go out there and win that game on Friday night, you guys should be in the playoffs.
We will, and you would think we'd probably be hosting the game at that point, depending on how everything falls and gets seeded. But those are things that we don't control. We don't worry about it. We don't talk about it. Our whole mindset is to get ready for Friday night in the bowl and the trip over the mountain, and talk to our kids about how cool it is and a special place and how that town embraces football. And you don't get to play in too many environments like that. And so we tell our kids, embrace that. It's a fun environment that you won't get to see probably the rest of your life, but to enjoy it. And then we tell them when you're doing things well and that place gets really quiet, it's even cooler.
Yeah, for sure, if you can go out there and do that. Also want to give a shout-out to Braden. Went out there and kicked a 45-yard field goal for you guys there towards the end of the game. That's pretty
beat
cool.
his own brother's record, I think. That's what I was told. So, I'm going to have to talk to Brett about that one. Yeah,
I was talking to Mr. Bunny after the game, and I said, well, if Brett gets one in college, then that kind of one-ups it a little bit.
That trumps it a little bit. Shout out to our band.
Yeah, that's right.
I've been getting them a shout-out last week. They went to, I believe it was Zia in Albuquerque last week, and made it to the finals for the first time in 15 years.
Awesome.
So huge shout out to those guys again. Won their class, and now they got the tournament of the Bands and Cruise this week. And so, love those kids. Like you always say, you see us out there, you'll see them out there early in the morning. So, shout out to them, and then let's just get ready for Friday night and have a good game.